Hi everyone, welcome back to Edu-Astro. And today we are going to cover the most important transit for this year. Though we have made all the videos for all the zodiac signs in terms of ascendant and moon sign, you can watch them on our YouTube channel. However, in today's video, I'm going to specifically focus on the Rahu Ketu axis. And as we know that this month in April, Rahu and Ketu have already made the transit, and for the next 1.5 years, they are going to stay there in that position. So Rahu has moved into Aries, and Ketu has moved into Libra. Now, before I go ahead and talk more about this transit, there are two things to be kept in mind. One is these videos which we make, these are totally based on the Vedic astrology, that's the sidereal time. And we take care of the predictions in terms of ascendant and moon signs, not the sun signs. Okay? So it's very important for you to know what your ascendant is and your moon sign. On the second hand, see, Rahu and Ketu are two mathematical points in the zodiac. And in our solar system, when the orbit of the Earth and the orbit of Moon, they coincide, they intersect. Those points are the Rahu and Ketu. The northern part is the Rahu, southern part is the Ketu. Now, they don't have a physical mass. They are mathematical points, but they have a bearing on our lives. Thus, they are taken to be as very important factors when we are predicting. Now, the most important thing to be noticed about Rahu and Ketu is that they behave in a very different manner, because wherever they are, whomever they are with, they take those qualities and they will either amplify it or they will constrict it, right? So Rahu generally amplifies that energy and Ketu constricts that energy. That's how Rahu and Ketu work. Now, with Rahu moving to Aries, Aries is ruled by Mars, and Mars rules Scorpio and Aries both. So Rahu will be playing the role of Mars in an amplified manner. Okay, and Ketu for these 1.5 years is in the sign of Venus, that's Libra, and Ketu will be playing the role of Venus in a constrictive manner. Okay, so this is the most important thing to be noted. What we are going to cover today for all the 12 signs is that with the axis of Rahu and Ketu having a shift, where do we focus on? For each sign, for each zodiac sign, ascendant and moon sign, there is a specific axis on which you need to work. That is what we are going to cover, so that it gives you an indication. It's easier for you to focus on the areas of life and keep a balance between that, because Rahu Ketu axis is all about the balance of life. So we'll go one by one. For Aries, the balance will be between need and want, me and my partner, my work versus my identity, me and my relations, what I am versus what people perceive me to be. That will be the balance where Aries people need to work on. For the Taurus ascendants and the moon signs, their balance would be between work and rest, vindictiveness versus forgiving, debts versus expenses, and doubt versus trust. For the Geminians, the balance will be between joy versus wish fulfillment, kids versus family, higher learning versus reaping benefits of efforts, study for self versus social and media activities. For Cancer people, the balance would be between home time versus work, peace of mind versus prestige and honor, mother versus father and family, hidden desires versus destined karma, lows versus highs, home versus office, balance in living, balance in life versus starting something new. For the Leo ascendant and moon sign, the areas would be siblings versus father, effort versus luck, short travels versus long travels, communicating versus realizing, hobby versus higher learning. For the Virgo ascendants and the moon signs, the balance would be between family and in laws, accumulation versus security, achieving versus transformation, predictability versus no surprises. That means either I'm uncertain or I am predictable. That's how I need to balance it. For Libra, the balance would be between desire and health, spouse versus you, home versus a place away from home, what people think versus what is my perception, right? The Scorpions, their areas would be health versus disease, being your own doctor versus getting help for health, conquering versus contentment, material attainment versus charity, increased daily activity versus time for yourself, sudden loans versus expenditures. Sagittarius would be deepest desires versus getting lucky, your throne versus social circle, happiness by learning new things versus pruning your social circle, doing things for your kid and family versus keeping your happiness aside. Capricorn, being active in your current surroundings versus finding what you are meant for, redoing your home versus working in new areas, fighting for inner peace versus elevating yourself to your destined karma, getting internal and homely peace versus leaving your job, doing what you want to do versus what you have to do or what you must do, and not trusting anything versus a leap of faith. Aquarius, igniting your hobbies versus learning something higher, changing place of work or stay versus long distance travels, your own effort versus your principles, your communication versus your wisdom, your siblings versus parents' health, subordinates versus seniors. And for Pisces, family relations versus in laws, accumulation versus insurance, self learning versus unearned wealth, stability versus suddenness. So, the concept behind this is that when Rahu and Ketu, they are always at 180-degree apart, they will always be in the opposite houses. Depending on that, every 1.5 years they make a transit. Whenever they are making that particular transit, for 1.5 years, they stay in one house. And that is that axis, the opposite houses, they tend to pull them. Once that happens, the person or natives or we are always in that between them. So we have to create a balance between the Rahu Ketu axis. That is what the actual learning is. And every 1.5 years, generally, that axis actually changes. And your balance in the life also changes depending upon time, place, condition, and all other things. While what I have told you is at a very, very macro, broad level, the detailed predictions are already given in the specific videos which we have created. Apart from that, your horoscope, your chart will talk differently for everybody. And if you require any specific consultations or specific insights, you can always contact us. Right? Thank you for your time and hope you like the video. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.